Good afternoon. You have reached the South Regional TAFE. We are doing an information session this afternoon on early childhood education and care. My name is Rachel Hardwick. I'm the training coordinator for the health qualifications, and I have Tricia, who is a lecturer in early childhood education and care. Thanks for joining me today, Trish.
Thank you.
I'm just going to get you to start by going over a bit of information around the industry in this space. So if you'd like to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm happy to do so. So we have a really, motivated industry group in our area, which is a great thing. So we work with children mainly within the course from 6 weeks through to 5 years of age. And most of our students will spend some time in a variety of long day care services throughout the southwest region. They're all structured slightly different. Some might have 99 children a day, and others might be a little bit smaller and have 40 or 50 kind of children. Some might be broken down age groups, so they might have the children that are in like a baby's room from 6 weeks to 1 year, and then 1 to 2, 2 to 3s, etc. Whereas others might be mixed, where all of those children attend a kind of shared environment together. So the structures are slightly different, and it can be dependent, on what those centres' philosophies and things are. We also have family daycare, kindy programs and things like that people are interested in, and we can tailor, training to make sure that we cover that interest area.
Okay. Yeah. Great, thank you. Are you able to tell us what sort of job outcomes we can get from studying the early childhood area?
Yep. So at the moment there's there's huge opportunities for people. So there's lots of employment. We're constantly having services ring and say that, they're looking for staff and educators. So that's fantastic. We also have a new centre that's just opened in the southwest, another one that is opening. So lots of growth in our industry. So people that do the qualification can choose to do a Cert 3 or a diploma, and that will determine what job role they have. So with a Cert 3, that gives you access to working with children, and being in our industry, you do have to have a qualification or be working towards a qualification. So when you apply for a position, it might be saying that they'd consider what's called working towards, and that means that you've enrolled and are engaging in training to obtain that qualification. It's a little bit more detailed than that, but that basically is how that is. So you need to be undertaking your study to gain that Certificate 3.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'm just going to go through some of the qualifications that we offer in that space. So our first qualification is our Certificate 3 in Early Childhood Education and Care.
Got it.
And we also offer the diploma. So this, as Trish said, the Certificate 3 is your entry into the workplace. Obviously, as she mentioned, you can either be working towards that, or you can gain that certificate and then go out into industry. The diploma is more at a supervisor level, where you will be doing a more manager supervisor role. And we are also offering in 2021 the Certificate 2. It's based around our foundation skills area. So students would come in 1 day a week and work in the foundation skills area, working on numeracy, literacy, computer, building all those foundation skills. And then the second day of the week, they would come into the early childhood education space and do some really practical Cert 2 level units. We have chosen some electives that are really fantastic for having a little go at what the industry is like, what the training area is like, and seeing if that's the pathway you want to take. We offer a lot of flexibility in these areas in terms of the way that you can undertake the course. So we do offer obviously full-time, but as Trish said, if you're working towards a qualification, you're obviously going to be working in the industry. So we can offer flexibility of working around so that you can study and work at the same time. And we also offer traineeships. These are just getting so big at the moment, aren't they, Trish?
They are. So I've got trainees all over the southwest, and I'm being contacted constantly for that. So that's great opportunities, and you're starting to see those advertised locally as well.
Yeah.
So that is fantastic. And as you said, with that, working towards if somebody is employed in industry. We're lucky enough to have a great working relationship with the centres. So we all work together to make sure that that pathway is going to suit the position for the person in the centre, as well as meet their training obligations so that they can attend classes and work with other students and gain those skills.
So when we talk about a traineeship, that means that your employer takes you on as a trainee. You are in the job, and Trish would come, or Trish or one of our other fantastic lecturers would come out, and they would assess you on the job, provide you with all your assessments, and you would basically learn while you're on the job. There shouldn't be a requirement to come to TAFE. Sometimes there may be, but generally you should be able to do most of it on the job. Trish, I'm just going to ask you to go into a bit more detail around our qualifications, if you don't mind.
Yep. So our Cert 3 qualification is a 12-month program. So within that 12 months, you will gain 18 units or undertake study within 18 units. They're really practical units. So whilst there's a lot of theory to take on, there's lots of practical components to that. So some of that is done in the classroom. So we get to do lots of hands-on things to kind of assist with the learning process and to make sure that we've practiced those skills. But then we also go on work placement. So work placement is when we place into a local service. We do that in negotiation with students to make sure that it's in your local area, or if you've considered a position at a service, you might want to be placed there so that you can build relationships there, those kinds of things. But there's 2 placements that you undertake, one with children from 6 weeks to 2 years, and then one with children from 2 years to 5 years. So we encourage students to go to 2 different centres if possible, just so that you are gaining some experience with different structures of services, different teams, different philosophies. It's all part of that learning. So, all of that experience is really helpful within that Cert 3. And then we have our diploma, and as Rachel said, so that includes some leadership and management type units. Within that, you will undertake an 18-month program. So we call 3 stages, so 3 semesters, and you'll do 3 placements within that diploma program. A number of age groups, but you're more focusing on development, programming, understanding those tasks and giving you some skills to work with small teams. So a person that graduates with their diploma that's employed in a centre will often be a room leader or working in a room where they're guiding a couple of other educators and small teams. So we make sure that we've put some things in place to help you gain confidence and skills in those areas. I think it's a really rewarding position, and the training, as I said, is very hands-on. So we work together to do that. Students can study full-time or part-time, those kinds of things, as far as if they're working towards. Sometimes we do it in a slightly different way.
Yeah, okay. I have a question for you, Trish.
Yep.
Students who may not be based in Bunbury, that are from a regional town and come to Bunbury campus for study,
yes,
can they do work placement at a local centre?
Yes, we do absolutely do that. So we've got students on placement all around the southwest. This year we've had people, so Collie, Harvey, Boyup-Brook, Bridgetown, Donnybrook, Busselton. Okay. So all over the place, depending on location and where they are, or even job opportunities. So sometimes it's due to having the opportunity to gain employment. So that's absolutely something we can do.
And you'll assist students in finding work placement. That's part of your role.
Yeah, we do that. So we do it with negotiation with students. So absolutely we want to know where students live, what their interest is, what their pathway is, what they're hoping to gain, whether they have transport or other commitments, whether that be a part-time job or family, so that we can work around that as best we can. So we work together to find what's going to be the best fit for each student.
Yeah, okay. Now the Certificate 3, if you were doing that full time, how long would that take to complete?
So it takes the full year to complete, or 12 months, depending on obviously when you enrol, whether it's in that year program or 12 months over a July enrolment to the following June. And we haven't created timetables as such, but we normally do 3 days a week in a classroom. So,
Yeah, great. Now, are there any special requirements that students need to be aware of before commencing this qualification?
Okay, so the one thing that you have to have when you're going into a centre is you have to have a Working with Children card.
Okay.
Now, you can get those when you come and start studying. We can have those completed for you as a student. So we can fill those in and sign those off for you. But it is a requirement of industry. So you can't go into industry without that Working with Children card. We do also encourage students, even it's not a requirement, but we just say next time you go to your GP, have a chat about working with children under 5. And discuss any things that they think relevant to working within that industry, because obviously, there's childhood illnesses and things like that you want to be aware of. That's quite physical, lots of lifting and things like that. So you just want to bounce around those things with someone in that space that's got that knowledge and just make sure that you're aware of, I think how that fits for you.
Yep. Great. And do the students have to wear a uniform?
Yes, we do encourage students to uniform. Most of our students choose to wear their uniform here on TAFE campus, but the uniform is for the purpose of when you are on work placement. So the uniform that we provide is a polo shirt. It's grey with a little green trim. It's a uniform that works for the centre the centres in the industry. So we don't say what pants you have to wear. When the students go on placement, they have an induction meeting with the centre they're going to, and you must follow whatever the dress code is for that service. So if a service says you can wear denim, then that's okay. But if they say you have to wear cargo pants or something like that, then you need to go by whatever the centre's dress code is. For TAFE, we also encourage we ask that students wear enclosed shoes because of the types of activities that we're doing, and that is a requirement for industry as well. Industry also requires a broad-brimmed hat, and that's obviously for sun safe, both role modelling for the children, but also to protect you in that space of sun safe practices.
Okay, great. Now, I just want to briefly touch on the fees regarding these qualifications. So these qualifications have now been they are on the reduced fees, reduced courses list. So the government put out a list at the beginning of January this year. Then they released some more courses in July, and they've just released some even more courses for 2021. And both the Cert 3 and the diploma are on these lists, so that's just amazing.
It's amazing, and it's a significant saving. So for people that have always wanted to get into the industry, I guess that's a really good incentive to go now. And
especially obviously the diploma, because that can be quite costly.
It is costly.
When it's not reduced. Okay, is there anything else that you need to talk about with your area?
I don't think so. I think it's really great if we have the opportunity, at some point to have conversations with people. If there's more that you, I guess, need to know or ask about. Obviously you've got to have a commitment and a real, passion for working with children in that age group. So 6 weeks to 5, they are keen and excited to learn. So we have a very play-based approach to the program that we're doing, and encourage learning through play, which is a lot of fun. But there's lots behind that too that's important. And we've got a great
simulated creche facility in our classroom. So that's been set up so that students have the opportunity to be able to feel comfortable in a simulated environment before going out and work placement. So we've got the little chairs and we've got the Play-Doh and all those fun things.
Yeah.
Wish I was a kid again.
So, and we do all that. We make Play-Doh and slime and all of those things so that when you go out to a centre and an educator says, oh, Rachel, can you just whip up some Play-Doh and stuff? You've already done it and you've practiced. You've got, you know, the ways of cooked Play-Doh, uncooked Play-Doh, and all of those things that you can just go in there with confidence and go, yeah, I can take that task on. So, we do all of that in class too. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think that wraps up our session for this afternoon. I would strongly recommend that if you're interested in one of our qualifications to apply online. Certificate 3 is a competitive course. So offers do close early December, and then offers will go out early January. So you can apply online via our website, and that will link you through to the TAFE admissions page where you can put your application in. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to contact us at TAFE at any point if you would like to ask some questions. Fill in an inquiry form online that will come through to myself and I can pass on to one of our wonderful lecturers. If you like wanting to come in for a bit of a campus tour, we're more than happy to help with that. And thanks for joining us this afternoon.